On Christmas morning 2025, members of the royal family attended the traditional service at St. Mary Magdalene Church, located on the Sandringham Estate. The annual walk to church has long been a public-facing symbol of royal continuity. Crowds gather, cameras roll, images circulate globally within minutes. Present were King Charles III and Queen Camilla, alongside Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, as well as their children. Other senior royals, including Prince Harry, were also in attendance. Two familiar figures were absent, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Their absence was not unexpected. Since stepping back from official royal duties in 2020 and relocating to California, the couple has not participated in the Sandringham Christmas gathering. By 2025, that pattern had extended across multiple consecutive years. Yet, as in previous years, media coverage in the weeks leading up to Christmas focused heavily on the possibility of reconciliation. Articles speculated about whether an invitation might be extended. Commentary debated whether father and son relations had improved. Anonymous sources were quoted suggesting hope, openness, or quiet tension. This recurring storyline has become part of the modern royal media cycle. To understand it, one must first understand logistics. Royal Christmas invitations are not last-minute gestures. Hosting dozens of family members and guests at Sandringham requires coordination well in advance. Reports from royal correspondents over the years indicate that invitations are typically discussed and confirmed in early autumn. Planning for security, accommodation, catering, and scheduling does not occur in December. That timeline matters because it reframes the public narrative. When stories emerge in November suggesting a possible invitation, decisions have likely already been made. By the time December headlines use language such as snub or olive branch, the guest list would have been settled weeks earlier. This does not necessarily imply strategic manipulation by any side. It does, however, illustrate how media cycles can create drama around processes that are procedural rather than emotional. The Christmas walkabout is symbolic. It represents unity and continuity. Absence, therefore, carries symbolic weight, even when it reflects long-standing circumstances rather than sudden rejection. Since relocating to California, Harry and Meghan have built lives independent of the royal institution. Their professional ventures, philanthropic initiatives, and media partnerships operate outside palace infrastructure. That structural separation naturally extends to private family traditions. Nevertheless, each year speculation resurfaces. Part of this dynamic reflects broader public fascination with reconciliation. Family estrangements, particularly high-profile ones, invite narrative arcs. Audiences expect conflict, climax, and resolution. Christmas, framed culturally as a season of forgiveness, heightens that expectation. Another factor is timing. The Riddle family's Christmas gathering offers predictable imagery. Media outlets anticipate coverage. In the absence of new developments, familiar themes resurface: distance, healing, possibility. In September 2025, reports circulated that Harry and his father had met privately after a prolonged period without in-person contact. Details were limited, and palace representatives did not elaborate. Some media outlets described the meeting in optimistic terms. Others cited palace sources who downplayed its significance. Without official transcripts or confirmed statements, interpretations varied. What remains clear is that the meeting did not immediately alter public patterns. The couple did not attend Christmas at Sandringham, nor did palace communication signal a major shift in family dynamics. That continuity suggests that whatever progress occurred, if any, remains private. Meanwhile, the Sussexes' life in California continued on its own trajectory. December saw the release of Meghan's holiday-themed content project in partnership with Netflix, alongside seasonal messaging connected to her lifestyle brand. The couple spent Christmas at their home in Lafayette with their children and Meghan's mother. Public reaction split along familiar lines. Supporters viewed the couple's independent holiday as evidence of self-determination. Critics framed it as distance from heritage. Neutral observers noted that 5 years into their post-royal life, the pattern had become predictable. What is often overlooked is that absence does not automatically equal exclusion. It can reflect structural change. Since 2025, Harry and Meghan have pursued autonomy from the institutional monarchy. That autonomy carries consequences. Participation in core royal traditions, particularly those symbolizing unity, may require levels of alignment that currently do not exist. Speculation that reconciliation hinges solely on invitation logistics oversimplifies a far more complex relationship dynamic. It is also worth acknowledging that royal families, like any families, manage private disagreements beyond public view. The monarchy's institutional role adds layers of scrutiny, but the underlying dynamics remain human. The annual Christmas narrative, therefore, may say more about media expectations than about behind-the-scenes negotiations. Each year follows a similar rhythm: autumn speculation, November anticipation, December interpretation. By late December, the images are set. The family present at Sandringham becomes the story. The family absent becomes the counterstory. And then the cycle resets. Whether that cycle reflects calculated messaging, organic media behavior, or some combination of both depends largely on perspective. What is evident is this: by 2025, the absence of Harry and Meghan from Sandringham is no longer a surprise event. It is the established norm. The question moving forward is not whether invitations will be discussed in headlines, it is whether the broader relationship between father and son, between brothers, between institution and independence, can evolve beyond symbolic gestures. Because Christmas optics, while powerful, do not define the entirety of familial reality. They simply provide a moment the world can see.
Beyond the annual Christmas conversation lies a broader transformation story. Since 2020, Harry and Meghan have worked to redefine their public identities outside the monarchy. Their strategy has combined philanthropy, media production, public speaking, and lifestyle branding. Their early agreements with major entertainment platforms generated significant global attention. Streaming documentaries, podcast ventures, and scripted content position them as media entrepreneurs rather than former working royals. Like many celebrity-driven ventures, results have been mixed. Some releases attracted substantial viewership upon debut. Others received varied critical responses. In the streaming economy, sustained engagement, not just initial curiosity, determines long-term partnerships. December 2025 marked another attempt to shape narrative through seasonal content. Meghan's holiday project aligned with her broader lifestyle branding strategy, curated traditions, aesthetic presentation, and domestic storytelling. Simultaneously, she maintained visibility within fashion and cultural spaces, attending high-profile events and cultivating relationships within editorial and creative industries. Observers interpret this in different ways. Supporters argue it reflects ambition and independence. Critics suggest it represents a departure from the service-oriented framework once associated with royal life. Both interpretations coexist in public discourse. For Harry, the trajectory appears somewhat distinct. His long-standing connection to the Invictus Games, founded in 2014 to support wounded service members, remains central to his public identity. Unlike newer ventures, Invictus predates his marriage and California relocation. This continuity creates an interesting dynamic. While Meghan's brand development leans heavily into lifestyle entrepreneurship, Harry's most enduring initiative remains charitable and veteran-focused. That divergence does not imply conflict, but it highlights different emphases. Meanwhile, inside the royal institution, structural priorities continue. Prince William's role as heir positions him as a guardian of long-term institutional stability. His decisions, public appearances, event participation, and symbolic gestures are often interpreted through that lens. The monarchy's survival historically depends on controlled messaging and predictable conduct. Public disputes complicate that framework. From an institutional perspective, minimizing volatility is strategic. This may partially explain why visible reintegration has not occurred. The monarchy and the Sussexes now operate under fundamentally different models of public engagement. The royal model emphasizes hierarchy, restraint, and continuity. The Sussex model emphasizes autonomy, narrative control, and commercial partnership. Bridging those approaches requires more than a holiday invitation. It would require agreement on boundaries, what remains private, what becomes public, and how disagreements are handled. Complicating matters further is public opinion. In the United Kingdom, polling over recent years has shown fluctuating perceptions of the Sussexes. In the United States, sentiment often trends differently. The couple's global brand operates across audiences with distinct expectations. Any reconciliation effort would unfold within that polarized environment. Meanwhile, time moves forward. Children grow, health concerns arise, institutional roles evolve. The urgency many commentators attach to Christmas symbolism may not reflect the longer timeline on which families actually operate. It is also possible that partial reconciliation could occur quietly, without public ceremony. Not every repaired relationship requires televised confirmation. As 2026 approaches, several realities appear stable. Harry and Meghan continue building independent ventures. The royal family continues its institutional rhythm. Christmas gatherings remain symbolic but practically complex and consistent. The annual speculation may persist, but repetition reduces shock value. At some point, narratives lose potency when outcomes remain unchanged. The deeper question is not whether Harry will attend Sandringham next December. It is whether both sides find a framework that allows coexistence without constant public reframing. Independence does not inherently conclude connection, nor does institutional duty inherently eliminate personal feeling. The public sees curated fragrance, church walks, streaming premieres, fashion events, charity ceremonies. Behind those images lie private conversations inaccessible to cameras. Until clear structural shifts occur, or through official statements, joint appearances, or sustained collaboration, the present pattern will likely continue. Separate paths, occasional meetings, recurring headlines. The story then is less about a single Christmas and more about two parallel trajectories, one rooted in the monarchy, the other in the modern celebrity entrepreneurship. Both carry opportunity, both carry constraint, and both for now remain firmly on their chosen course.